Today we're smoking a big, beautiful 15-pound prime brisket. Let's get it out of the wrapper. Get this thing out of this wrapper real quick. Get it on the cutting board and get ready to start trimming it. Look at this. Now, I had it in the freezer for about 30 minutes before we started this, and that is just to harden up that fat a little bit and make it a little bit easier to trim this brisket up. Okay, now we're going to trim this brisket up. Flip it over, get it to the other side. First thing we're going to take off is this mohawk. We're going to get that off of there, just like this. The knife that I'm using is a Victorinox slicer. This technique I saw on a channel that Jeremy Yoder does. Okay, now we're going to get the underneath of it. I'm going to round it off a little bit more over here. Get a little bit better aerodynamic shape to it. Now we're going to take this deco fat off. Don't really need the fat on the bottom so much. This knife is very sharp, so you got to be careful with it. And get this fat off here, and get some of this off here. This thing's got a lot of fat on it. That should mean that the marbling inside is going to be really nice. Now, I like to put these things in the freezer for about 30 minutes before I bring them outside. It makes them a lot easier to go ahead and trim, just like you're seeing. Makes things smoother. I'm going to take some of this off. This point has got a big gash in it anyway, so okay, now it's time to season this thing up. And I'm going to use my beef rub that I like to use. This is 1 part coarse ground black pepper, 1 part coarse ground kosher salt, and then I put a tablespoon of ancho chili powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, and a tablespoon of garlic powder in it. Now we're just going to lightly do this. We're going to get a good coating, but we don't want a lot. But we do want to get like about that. That's good right there. That'll be a really good coating for it. That'll give us enough to form a really nice bark. And I'll flip it up, do the upper side. The bark is going to be mostly formed by the black pepper, of course, the smoke. The black pepper gathers that stuff in and really makes you a nice bark. Okay, we don't want to put too much because we don't want to seal the meat from the smoke. We definitely want to get the sides. Don't forget those sides. Rookie mistake there. Once you get the sides real good, flip it over and make sure we've got a good seasoning on the other side. And if you notice, I don't use a binder. You shouldn't have to. This meat is juicy enough that you don't need a binder to get that meat, that seasoning to stick. Just a little bit more. Make sure we got those sides real good. Alright. And that's going to do it. I'm going to take this brisket. We're going to put it in the fire. We're going to put it like this, angled, the point side toward the fire. Now I've got a pan right here that I took those fat trimmings off in, and I'm going to put this right over here above the fire. That's going to render down, and that's going to make me a beautiful tallow that I'll use later on when it's time to wrap this brisket. And this is what we want our smoke to look like. It's got a little bit of whiteness to it, but it's clear, nice. That's where we're going to get the best flavor for this cook. You want to cook for that first couple of hours, really low, 200, 225 degrees, and slightly dirty, and that'll give you the best flavor. Of course, we're starting out with mesquite. Okay, it's time to check on this fire now. I've got my wood preheating, and that's of course mesquite. That's what I like to begin the cook with. And what we're sitting at right at 225. That is perfect for this cook. That's where we want to be, between 200 and 225. If you take a look at what's coming out of that stack, we got a nice white wispy smoke. That's exactly what we want. A beautiful smoke means we're getting beautiful flavor in that meat. So we're going to go ahead and check the fire. Probably put a couple more pieces of wood on it. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's time. Let's go ahead and put this wood in there. We're going to put them across this way this time. Get some good airflow in it. That'll get that wood good and lit. That'll keep our temperature nice and steady. And we'll stay manageable this way. Now we're going to continue this cook. Of course, we're not going to be opening the smoke chamber right now. We're going to let that thing cook. It's only been about an hour or so since we got it in there. We don't want to open it for the first 2 to 3 hours. If you're looking, you ain't cooking. Just keep that in mind. We're also going to add one other thing. It's a little secret that I like to do. And it's something that helps keep your fire going well, manageable. It also adds flavor to the cook. We're going to take a little bit of that beef fat that we trimmed off of that brisket and throw it on top of that log. That'll help that fire burn better, and it'll give that brisket quite a bit of flavor. It really does help out. Now we're going to check the fire, and we're going to check the meat. It's the first time I've opened it up. It's been 3 hours into the cook. Let's see where our fire is. See what we look like there. And we're still pretty good. I put a piece of wood in it not too long ago. Let me go ahead and put a piece of fat in there. Yeah, there we go. Give it some flavor. We're sitting at about 225 degrees. Look at that smoke. Oh, look at that beautiful brisket. Look at that thing. Man, that thing is gorgeous. Look at that tallow. It's rendering nicely. I'll be taking that out of here. The next time I check the brisket, it'll come out. That one piece of fat needs to render a little bit more and give me some more juice. But other than that, that tallow looks great. Plenty of tallow. Look at the color on that brisket. Oh yeah, it's coming along. It's not even close to being done yet. We've only been cooking it for 3 hours, but let's see where we are internally. About 123, 122. It's going really good. We've got a good internal temperature. It's looking beautiful. I'm going to close this thing up. We're going to continue this cook. Okay, now we're going to check this brisket out again. We're going to check the internal temperature and see where we are. We should be getting really close to the stall. But before that, we're going to check the fire, and we're possibly going to add wood. Let's take a look and see where we're at on that. Oh yeah, we need to put a little bit more wood. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 pieces on here. We're going with the oak. I'm not adding fat to it anymore. We're going strictly with the oak. We're going to let that get going. Once that fire gets going real good, we'll close that back up. Now let's check out this brisket. Oh, look at that beautiful brisket. That thing looks good, doesn't it? Talk about a meteorite. It's looking delicious. It's looking smoky. The bark is really forming well. Let's see what that internal temperature is. Yeah, we've got that internal temperature of 161. This thing is entering the stall now, so it'll be about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Once it leaves the stall, we're going to check it about every 30 minutes to make sure it's still in the stall. Once it gets out of that stall, we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to wrap it with butcher paper. We'll put some tallow on it at that time, and then we'll get it back in that smoker and finish the cook up. So let's get to that point. We're going to close it up and finish this cook. Okay, we're going to check this thing to see if it's ready to wrap or not. What we're looking at is about 175 to 180 degrees internal temperature, and we want to see how well that fat's rendered. We'll take a look at those 2 things, and we'll decide as whether or not it's time to wrap, and then we'll get this thing wrapped up. Let's get it going. I'll use my Javelin Pro instant read thermometer. First, oh, look at that thing. Boy, it is really good looking. That bark is set in. That is a beautiful brisket. Now let's get a look at this internal temperature. 180, 179. Yeah, it is there. It's at the temperature. Let's take a look at that. Oh, yes. Yes, see how that sinks in? That fat is rendered beautifully. That is ready to wrap. For sure. Put that over here. Let's go ahead and take this thing over. And we're going to set it on the paper fat side up. Okay, we're going to go for that first. This is the tallow that we made earlier. Look at the color of that tallow. Beautiful. Nice. This will add some juice to it. Pouring it on there nice and thick. Put this tallow off to the side. This is 18-inch butcher's paper. We're going to go ahead and start here. This is the fat side up. We want to end fat side up. So we'll start it like this. Fold it over. There we go. I'm going to fold this side in over there, over the end of the brisket. Straighten it up here. Easier said than done. We're going to fold this stuff. Okay. Bring it down a little bit so we can reach it. Do the same thing to this side. Bring it up. Straighten it out. Fold it over. Get a good fold on that. We're going to roll it over. Roll this brisket over. Bring our fat side down now. Make sure that everything stays nice and tight. You want to wrap this thing really tight. Get that paper flattened out real good. Here we go. Fat side up again. And that's where we want to be. And I'm going to go ahead and fold this paper over once. And then we're going to fold it underneath it. This thing is nice and tight, and we're going to put it back in the smoker. It's fat side up. And the point, again, this is the point actually, that's the front. We're going to put that point towards the fire, and we're going to finish the cook that way. This is going to be a good brisket. Okay, it's time to check out this brisket and see if we are where we need to be in the cook. What we're looking for is a 203 degree internal temperature. All right, check and see how it feels. Oh yeah, it's nice and pliable. Feels pretty good. And what we're looking for is 203 degrees internal. And that's, well, it's 207 degrees, so it's a little over that. Not bad, 205 degrees. So it is done. So it's definitely time to take it out of the smoker. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing out of the smoker and we're going to let it cool off for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm going to put it in the cooler. I have that cooler right over there behind my beautiful camera woman. And we're going to let this thing rest overnight for about 10 to 12 hours. Okay, we'll be back when it's time to put this in the cooler and let it rest. We took this brisket out of the smoker 10 minutes ago. It's been cooling off. So now it's time to go ahead and put it in the cooler and let this thing rest. That's going to be one beautiful brisket. We're going to let that thing rest overnight. The average rest time is 8 to 12 hours. We'll just slice that thing up tomorrow and we should have a beautiful, wonderful, juicy, smoky brisket. Okay, this brisket's finished resting. It's closing in on about noon. It's 11:30 today. It's been resting overnight. And there it is. Let's see what we've got here. Boy, it smells good, I tell you. Let's unwrap it. Like unwrapping a Christmas gift. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. Nice. Look at that brisket. Tell you what, turned out really nice. Oh, yeah. That thing's going to be delicious. Get what's left of this juice on there. It's got plenty of juice. It looks really juicy on the outside already still. That is a pretty brisket. Now this is the point, and this is the flat side. So we're going to slice it right in the middle. See what we got here. It smells good, I'll tell you. And this is your flat. Oh, look at that juice. Oh man, that thing is good. That's a nice little smoke ring on it too. Came out great. Now let's go ahead and check out these burn ends here. This is your point. Let's see what happened with the burn ends. They should look pretty nice too. Let's take a look. Slice it in half first. Turn around and cut these burn ends. See what we got here. Oh man, look at that juicy son of a gun. I'm gonna try this piece. Oh yeah, that's a good brisket. That is some good juiciness, I'll tell you. Now I'm gonna finish slicing this thing up, and I'll see you in a bit. Now that's a good looking brisket. Okay, here we go. Look at that thing. Talking about a beautiful piece of meat. Let's take a look at a piece of this. Oh, look at that. So juicy. Been test good, and look at that. It just pulls right apart. Nice and easy. Oh, that's a good piece. Oh, that's some good stuff. That brisket turned out absolutely perfect.